Hi, I'm Gretchen Dixon, a product specialist and trainer with SOLABS, a company dedicated to helping small to mid-sized life sciences companies learn from experience by automating their quality systems using our SOLABS QM software. Today's video will talk about what a curriculum is in SOLABS QM. Those of you who have worked with larger learning management systems may be used to a curriculum being a group of training activities that can be assigned to your trainees as a group. In SOLABS QM, the function roles serve that purpose. You create function roles for each of the functions at your organization. You can link multiple training activities to those function roles, and when the function roles are assigned to your users, then you have created a group of required training, and compliance against that group will be measured. So that's very similar to what a curriculum is in a larger system. So what is a curriculum in SOLABS QM? Let's take a look. I am in the training section as a training administrator. I'll click on the training menu option and go to Create Curriculum. In SOLABS QM, a curriculum is the default settings that you want for the training activities that will be linked to this curriculum. This curriculum can be linked to one or more training activities, but each of those training activities will need to be assigned separately to your users. But if you do have more than one, they can have common default settings that you will create through the curriculum. First of all, you will give your curriculum a name. That is a mandatory field. Next, you can pick one or more categories for the training. This is a list that you create, a custom list for your organization, so you can use your own terminology for the types of training that you have in your organization. So you can pick one or more. If you are going to have more than one training activity, you might pick more than one, maybe a read and confirm and then an on-the-job training. We do recommend as a best practice, though, if you are going to have more than one training activity in the curriculum, whether or not it will be assigned to the same people or occur on the same frequency. If the training activities are not needed by the same people or need to happen on a different frequency, such as on-the-job training not happening every time an SOP is revised, we do recommend that you put those training activities in a separate curriculum, because these default settings will cause the training activities to behave in a consistent manner. You have a description field. In this field, you can describe the purpose of the curriculum and the training activity or training activities within it. This can be helpful for you if you have multiple training administrators. The start date and the create date will default to the day you are creating the curriculum. You can change the start date, though, if you're creating it ahead of time. Perhaps you don't want any of this to be in place until next month, but you're getting it done ahead of time. We recommend leaving the end date blank. The end date acts as an expiration date, so you can use it if you've got training such as annual GMP training or annual safety training, and you will not want to use it after a certain date, but otherwise leave it blank. The next important setting for your curriculum is the recurrence. You can set up training activities to automatically be recreated whenever a document is revised. This can be very convenient. So what you do is you choose the document revision option in the recurrence section. When your document is revised, this curriculum will be automatically recreated, as will any training activities within it. It can even be automatically assigned, but we'll cover that shortly. When you click Document Revision, some more fields came up that were not there before. So you want to think about when it's recreated in the future, how do you want the settings to occur? So it will default to have your training activities linked to a function role. Profile means function role. And that's typically what our clients do so that they can establish groups of required training for functions. If you do choose to assign training directly to your users, not through a function role that they have, we recommend that you choose all. That way your training activities will be recreated upon document revision, whether or not you have them assigned through a function role or not. After creation, what would you like to happen to the training activities? You can choose no assignment, but with that one, you're still saying that this is a requirement for any function roles it may be linked to. The training compliance reports will clearly say that you chose not to assign it, but it can raise questions on an audit. So if you are choosing to have, again, more than one training activity linked to this curriculum and anything is different about it, either the frequency or the users that have it, we recommend putting those in a separate curriculum anyway. Most clients choose assign based on profile because they are linking the training activity to a function role. There are other options available. You can choose to have your training activities reassigned based on previous assignments or those people who were previously trained, but they may not need to be trained on it anymore. So that's an unusual setting. We do recommend leaving your default status after recreation at not started, especially where you have it for document revision, because this will allow you to go in and just take a look and make sure nothing needs to be changed before it's automatically assigned to people. If you do choose active, not only will it be recreated, it will be automatically assigned to the same people who had the prior revision. You also need to choose the document that will trigger all of this, and it can only be one document. So you can search for your document by name or by control number, and when you find it, you can link it as the one document that, when revised, will trigger the recreation of this curriculum and the training activities within it. Another section is completion requirements. Will the training activities within this curriculum be considered complete just with an e-signature of your trainees? Do they have to have a certain pass rate? You might want to link a quiz through linked documents and instruct them to complete and submit the quiz. And in that case, you can have a default pass rate. We'll talk about creating training activities and knowledge assessments in another video. You can also choose to have a second confirmation. Perhaps for classroom training or on-the-job training, you'd like to have a trainer also confirm that they feel that the trainee has successfully completed the training. And you can have both. If you do choose to have a second confirmation, you can choose who, in addition to your training administrators, can do that second confirmation. It can be a trainer, a manager, or a department head. And if it is a trainer, you have the opportunity to check function roles for people who might be the appropriate trainers, but that's optional. And the last setting in the curriculum is if you have more than one training activity, how many of them need to be complete to consider the person trained. In our regulated environment, usually if we're going to assign training, we want it all to be done. So we recommend leaving this at not applicable, which would be the same thing as typing in 100%. So it's easier just to leave it at not applicable. When you submit and confirm these default settings, you will then be able to create training activities within this curriculum, one or more. Link them to quizzes or not, and we'll cover all that in separate videos. If you'd like more information on the training section in SOLABS QM, please go to our knowledge base at docs.solabs.com or from our website at solabs.com, where we have all kinds of information and detail about all the sections of SOLABS QM. I hope this helped you better understand what a curriculum is in SOLABS QM.